Let it go is the mantra. There's a lot of different techniques to do it, depending on who we are, depending on, our characteristics. For example, yagna, ritual in general is very, very important. Because when we've been hurt, not the sandwich in the fridge, but we've been hurt on a very, very deep level, we have to get into the deep level to let go. And as you said, the mind says, okay, Johnny, though. But the hurt wasn't in the mind. And that's why it's still there. The mind has said, let it go. But the mind wasn't where the pain came in the first place. And this is why we find that no matter how many times our mind may say, oh, let it go, let it go, let it go, we can't. This is where it's important to get down into the level of the heart. It's important to get down into the level of the subconscious, the unconscious. Because that's where we hold a lot of these things. It's not that I go out and I say, all right, I'm going to interview you all, and the one who seems the most like my mother or father, I will marry you because I've got patterns I need to work through. It doesn't happen like that. It's all unconscious, it's subconscious. We think, I don't want to be with that. That was painful. I need the opposite. But unconsciously, we're recreating it. So we have to get in to the level of the unconscious. And there's a lot of ways to do that. Ritual is very, very powerful. The yagna ceremony is a very, very powerful ritual. Swaha, right? Swaha. We're giving. At the end of every ahuti, the end of the offerings, swaha. I'm giving. I'm giving. And here's how the yagna works. This is why we actually do these ceremonies every night on the banks of Ganga, but also on all of the spiritual retreats, because it's so powerful and everyone has something they need to let go of, or almost everyone. So here's how the yagna works. The actual ahuti, the actual offering, the samagri, the mixture of what we put in the fire, is a mixture of seeds. Well, here's what the symbol of that is. The seed is the ego, okay? And the ego is all of that which thinks I know who I am, that thinks this is my identity, that is carrying all of that. All of what's happened, all of how I've been changed by what happened, my whole victim mentality, that's ego. Okay? But it's unconscious ego, but it's ego. The seed is a symbol of the ego. Now, if you plant a seed in fertile ground, it sprouts. You get a tree. And then it's very, very difficult to uproot a tree. So if that ego gets its roots into us, into our heart, around our identity, around our breath, around our life, yeah, it is hard to let it go. It feels like you're literally ripping yourself out of yourself. It is in the heart. But in the yagna, we're offering the seeds to the fire. Now, before you plant a seed, if you roast it, that seed will never sprout. You've literally rendered the seed inert. It cannot sprout. It doesn't matter how good the soil is. And so as we offer the samagri, this mixture, into the fire, we're literally offering the seed of the ego and saying, oh God, roast my ego, literally. Take all of that, who I think I am, all of my grudges, my pain, my expectations, unfulfilled expectations, my anger, my history, take that and roast it. Render it inert and purified. And then as we offer and we offer, with each swaha, it's I'm giving it up, I'm giving it up. And as the priests chant the mantras, most of the mantras end with idam namam, idam namam. And it literally means not for me, but for you. Not for me, but for you. So my life is not for me. It's for you, the capital Y-U, the divine you. Regardless of what our religion may be or how we conceive of that. See, when I'm holding on to grudges, it's all about me. It's what you've done to me. How am I going to overcome it? But when I give it and it becomes all about you, then I too am just a tool. My only job is just to keep offering. And when the ghee goes in the fire, it's the symbol of purity. The ghee is the symbol of purity. And so it purifies all of that within us that keeps us from literally living as the divine self, that keeps us from living free. So anything you have, offer it to the yagna. Just offer it into that fire. And pray. Pray to have it taken. And when the situation arises, when something triggers you, something triggers that you feel like that old pain is coming, see it, look at it, notice it. Ah, that's someone from my past. You know, it's like the guy who bullied you in school. All right, well, 20 years later, chances are you're not going to, punch him in the nose. But you're also not going to say, all right, let's, spend the rest of our lives together. You're going to recognize it, see it, acknowledge it, but not be impacted by it. He may have been your bully of 20 years ago in school, but he's not your bully today. He doesn't have any power over you today because you've moved on from that. And in the same way, when that memory comes, that feeling comes, think about that feeling really as the bully, because that's what it is. Trying to hurt you, trying to make you feel bad, make you feel less, bring you down. That feeling is the bully on the schoolyard. And it may have brought you down before, you were in a different situation before. But when you see this bully coming, just as you're not going to punch him in the nose, you're also not going to say, okay, go on, trip me in this middle of the street, just for old time's sake. Come on, knock me down. You're not going to do that. Because you don't need to go there. That was from the past. You've moved on, you've grown. So whenever you notice it, just see it. See it, look at it. Understand it belongs to the past, not the present. You could even fold your hands to it. Thank it. It was there to look after you at that time. The anger is the shield against the pain. I feel pain, what do? I become angry. It's a shield. But you don't need to protect yourself from that pain anymore because you've moved on. And so use both. Use the ritual to keep letting it go. You're here on the banks of Ganga. Tomorrow, go for Ganga Snan. Even if you've already done it, go again. And when you're having your Ganga bath, it's not just about, clean my skin, or, purify me from lifetimes of what I've done. It's purify me from what I'm holding on to in this life. Because that's what's bringing me down now. Not just what I did in the past, but what I'm holding on to. Let Ganga take that. Really, as you take your dip, feel like Ganga is washing that out of you. Feel it flow down the river. And give it to her. And then be sure to thank her on your way out for taking